Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, ladies, in this video, I want to talk about 3 reasons why it's going to be hard for you to attract a high value, confident, attractive man. Okay? And, most of you ladies want a guy who is on point, a guy who, is the total package, whatever that is for you, right? And this is a guy you would see as a high value guy, a guy who's attractive, a guy who's confident, a guy who has it going on. But the reason why it's hard for you to attract those guys and keep him, and I should emphasize keeping him around, because you may be able to attract them for a small period of time, but you have a hard time keeping them. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this is. Now, this is in no order of importance, but I'm just go through these 3. So the first one is, you play too many games. So what happens is that if you're interested in a guy who's this high value guy and you play a lot of games, so you have like this sort of flaky energy, you are the type of woman who, let's say if he's, hanging out with you on a date or whatever, you're very standoffish and wishy-washy because you're trying to sort of play hard to get. This guy calls you or texts you and you're like, well, I'm going to wait a few, hours or days to respond back to him, stuff like that. And usually what happens is you might be doing these things in an attempt to, get him to, I guess, like you more, or, you're trying to play as if, I got to take this slow and act like, I'm not really interested. This is what's going to turn this guy off, because if he's a high value guy, a guy who's confident, he's not going to want to deal with a woman who play games. Right? And so what happens is that he's going to be like, well, I'm not really interested in her like that. He might still look at you and say, I'll have sex with this girl. I will interact with this woman in a sexual manner, but I'm not necessarily trying to, be with her like that. You understand? And that's because you're playing those games. And since he is that high value guy, high value men are confident and they're not going to want to stick around and play those type of games because they know what they want. And so they're looking for a woman who understands his value and respects that situation. It respects who he is and wants to be part of that situation, right? So the first one is you play too many games. Second is you're intimidated. You're intimidated. So sometimes women will actually play games because they're intimidated. But what happens is you encounter this high value, attractive man, and it's like been a while since you've run into a guy like this. So you're like, oh my God, this guy's so awesome. And what happens is that you may think you can't measure up. You may think that he's out of your league. Like, oh, a guy like him would never want to, get with me. Right. And so the reason why you're not able to keep this guy around or to make anything happen is because your insecurity ends up messing up the situation, because you're sort of, since you're intimidated by him, you may self-sabotage the situation. And then the situation gets sabotaged because you may do something or say something or act a certain way because of you being intimidated. And because you're intimidated, what's going to happen is that you're going to end up doing things that's going to make him say, you know what? I don't really know about this girl. But you're doing those things because you're intimidated. And then what happens is that this is why you lose him. Because you feel like you didn't deserve him in the first place. So you end up doing things to sabotage the situation so that you say, well, see, I knew it. I knew he was going to leave. I knew this was going to happen. But see, that's the outcome you wanted, to basically reinforce the belief you had that you didn't deserve this type of guy in the first place. And you believe that because you were intimidated by this dude. Now, the third reason why you're not going to be able to get this high value, attractive guy is because there is too much competition. So when a guy is a very attractive, high value, confident dude, he has a lot of women that he can get with. A lot of women that are interested in him. So what happens is that if you're not on point with your game, if you're not on point with understanding how to attract this guy, how to keep him interested, how to make him see you differently than how he sees other women, if you don't know how to do this, what's going to happen is that he's going to end up getting with someone else. So, for example, when I was talking about earlier, we was talking about game playing. If you're the type of woman who plays games, right, what's going to happen is that he's going to say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this girl who's playing games. I'm just going to go over here to the other girl that is interested in me and just get with her. You know, this other girl who isn't playing games. So you have all that competition. And so since there is that much competition, it's harder to keep them around. See, the thing is this, is that, you know, you may want that high value guy, that super attractive guy, that confident guy, but what happens is in order to keep him, you have to be the best you are, the best version of you, because he's going to want the best because he sees himself as the best. And so the reason why it's hard for, you know, because I hear ladies will say all the time, well, you know, oh, there's not enough good men out here and all these guys are doing all this crazy stuff or whatever. But a lot of the stuff, the crazy stuff that these guys will do, the ones that you're attracted to, or them just sort of like being all over the place, is because they have so many options. And what happens is that within those options, they're not really finding what they're looking for. They're not finding that top-notch woman. So the thing is, you can be that top-notch woman, but you have to work on yourself. And once you work on yourself, you'll be able to attract and keep that high-value, confident, attractive man. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do two quick things. One, I want you to click the link below and send me your questions. If you have any questions on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. And two, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, 7 highly effective steps for finding and keeping a man. And I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.